Matt, no! Matt, no! No!
I swung the axe hard against the wall, and a ghastly, pale face appeared inside. As I continued chopping with the axe, the entire wall completely collapsed. Countless bones came tumbling out in a dense cascade. My name is Matt. Not long ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. To cure me, my mother drove 8 hours every day to take me to top-tier hospitals for treatment. But during the trips back and forth, I couldn't help but vomit violently. To ease the burden of my commute, my mother rented a cheap place nearby. That night, while I was sleeping, I was suddenly awakened by a noise. I followed the sound and groped my way to the basement, arriving at a door. Just as I leaned in to examine it closely,
Hey. You okay?
yeah, it was just a bad dream. What I didn't know at the time was that the real nightmare was just beginning. Afterward, we started cleaning the house to prepare for my father and other siblings to arrive. While my mother was cleaning, she accidentally discovered a stack of old photographs. But what was eerie was that all the people in the photos had deathly pale faces and were wearing burial shrouds. These were clearly funeral portraits. My mother was startled and quickly threw the photos into the trash. Meanwhile, I chose my room. Coincidentally, it was identical to the basement from my dream last night. It made me feel especially familiar. Then I saw that door from last night and tried to push it open. But even using all my strength, the door wouldn't budge an inch. Just then, my other family members arrived at the house. My mother took my sister to tour the rooms. What they didn't know was that just as they opened the closet door, a blurry figure was slowly emerging in the mirror, as if watching their every move. Later, when my mother was organizing my room, I actually saw red bloodstains seeping through the floor. But in my mother's eyes, the floor remained clean and tidy. I was terrified and tried to comfort myself that this was just a hallucination. But that night, I suddenly sat up in bed. When I opened my eyes, the scene before me instantly filled me with dread. Behind that door, dim light was shining through. Two blurry figures were swaying back and forth. When the boy's gaze suddenly turned toward me, our eyes seemed to meet in midair. Instantly, I saw the truth behind the door. A man was crouching beside a corpse, holding a sharp knife in his hand, carving strange symbols while muttering some kind of evil incantation. Just as he was about to strike down with the knife, I instantly woke from the dream. Then I walked to that door again, wanting to push it open and investigate. But just as my hand touched the doorknob,